spark to me is when you rub two rocks together and that friction creates something, right? And so I feel like the moment of friction for me came from spending most of my life in adolescence and into my college years being a Division I softball player and being at the peak of that career. I played professionally. I got into the Hall of Fame. I really felt like I had the opportunity to fully see that vision of myself through, but then you get to a place where, now what? And so in the friction of feeling like, well, what do I do now? I had to pivot. And so I think the spark came from the pivot. That was the friction of turning things around. And I don't know how many people are familiar with baseball and softball, but so much of that culture is storytelling. And so you are waiting for a coach to hit fly balls and you're out in the field and people are telling stories. You're sitting in a dugout, people are telling stories. And so I'd really had the opportunity, even though I didn't understand what I would do with that skill, of what it takes to tell a good story and how much a good story can help people create empathy with one another. So meeting a mentor of mine who was able to kind of help me in that moment of, I don't know what life is without doing sports, but I don't think I want to stay here. And being able to say, you've been producing events in the nonprofit space, you've been putting together content, you've been telling stories, and you have this ability to tell stories in a way where you can connect with people. And what if I told you there was a job that existed where you can work with people who want to tell stories and you can help them tell their story and you can listen and help them make it? What if I told you that was a job? And there's really great women who've done that job. Go home. Go research Sherry Lansing. Go research Donna Langley. Go research Kathleen Kennedy. Come back to me, kid, and tell me what you think of those women. And so I did. And I was like, they're really cool. And how do I do that? Because I've been throwing softballs over here. And so the answer to that was to study and to start all over, to go from being in a place where I was very sure of myself and knew exactly what I was doing when I was throwing a softball and making something happen and telling that story of myself and switching to how do I help other people tell their stories and shape them in a way where it can resonate with people, which led to being at a studio and being a studio executive where I get to work with lots of storytellers and hear their stories and help make that story resonate with a global audience, which I honestly is a dream job and really exciting. So I think for me, really feeling that friction and not running away from the friction of our lives and seeing where that can take you and where that took me is, I think, exactly where my spark came from.